Basically, instead of back in the day, like where you'd have to go in there and, all right, I want only these zip codes and these likes and these hobbies. You hit that button and it does it for you. Even if they don't work out with us, and we've got many people that we've gotten to know over these last couple of years have not lifted a kettlebell or gotten on a bike yet inside our doors, but they're there 3-4 days a week grabbing a smoothie.
So you call them right away. What happens if they don't pick up?
So there's a little technique called the double dial.
Yes, there
So
is. Dear listener, the double dial.
the
There it
double
is.
dial, yeah,
There it
and
is. Hello and welcome to Gym World Worldwide. I am your host, Mateo Lopez, once again flying solo. My compatriot, my business partner, my neighbor, John Edward Franklin, has had his third child, so his hands are full, and he may not be back hosting for some time. We shall see. Only time will tell. But the third time, I feel like you've kind of gotten, I would presume, pretty good at it, right? You've got to have a handle on it. We'll see. But we'll see if he ever returns. But today I am joined by Jeremy Jones, co-founder of The Collective out in Gilbert, Arizona. We're going to learn about a few things today. We're going to learn about how to get a sweet lease in a sweet location in a residential building. We're going to learn about how to combine strength training and cycling modalities to create a boutique experience. We're going to learn about sales. We're going to learn about lead nurture. We're going to learn about follow-up. And we might learn about smoothies if we don't run out of time. So, Jeremy, how are you?
Right on, Mateo. I'm doing great, man. Appreciate the introduction. Yeah, I can not somewhat relate to John. I've got two littles myself, so I remember just about a year ago when that second one was born, and talk about next chapter, great life changing. But yeah, you start figuring things out differently after each one.
I imagine it starts to compound. So yeah, in your own words, Jeremy, before I get into it, in your own words, what is the collective?
Yeah, man, great question. So really, the collective was something that started in 2008. Its previous version of itself was functional fitness. And Luis, my business partner, and I, we had opened up our doors after both training at a big box gym for about 6.5 years, and brought on private coaching. And then just like training and being a coach, we understood how important it was to evolve and to continue to get 1% better, which is one of our main taglines. So over those years, we brought on, went from private coaching, brought on our group coaching, had some semi-private coaching, added a cycle studio, and then had known about this big project at the epicenter for many years, because we're good friends with the families that are involved in the project. So we knew it was on the radar, and after what was it, 14 years in downtown Gilbert, as Funk Fit, we had the opportunity to essentially take what was Funk Fit, what was Cycle Lab, which it was its own business inside our previous location. So we brought the best of Funk Fit, the best of Cycle Lab, and then added a recovery component with a couple cold tubs, traditional sauna, and now red light therapy. So the formation of those is what turned into the collective, and basically was became our next chapter that we opened up in April of 2023.
So are you saying this was like a development or a new kind of, a residential building or something that you knew was going up ahead of time? You kind of had the inside track and you were able to get in there.
Yeah. One of those, just being good friends with the family that owns the land there in Agritopia. I was first hearing about the vision of this project as early as 2004-ish, 2005. And, we knew to some degree we were going to be involved with it even as early as 2012. And then like anything, things take time, for visions to come together. 2020, caused, some different disruptions / timeline changes. We knew it was always something we wanted to be a part of, and we're excited to be asked, specifically to be a part of it, because that was one of the things that really caught our attention. Was that it wasn't being designed for, big national chain type businesses. The businesses who were invited, were pretty close to, like Arizona selected and or like kind of smaller business that small business done well, I should say.
So what is it's like a residential complex, or is there other things? And it's like a big building with other businesses. What is this project?
Yeah, yeah. So it's called the epicenter. And really the idea behind it is a center, taking things back to some degree how it used to be back in the day where, you had your neighborhood. Obviously, there's the surrounding neighborhoods with Agritopia, Morrison Ranch, Lionsgate, kind of all around there. And then having opportunities and businesses, within walking distance or, within a short drive to get to for the most part, everything you need. So specifically there at the epicenter, all the businesses on the bottom floor, and there's 320 luxury apartments, 3 to 4 stories tall, up above all the businesses. The Tyler Apartments, which those are beautiful apartments as well. Getting to know them and tour them over these last couple of years. But essentially, the businesses on the bottom floor, residents up above, and just some great area, great surrounding partnerships too. But yeah, the epicenter, and if you're in that Higley and Ray section, those letters are so big up on top of the building, you really can't miss it.
Got it. Okay, cool. So to summarize, you've been a personal trainer for quite some time. You had a background also. I think you did some exercise science as well in college, right?
Yeah, exercise science
Yeah,
degree.
exercise science. You got your co-founder, your partner in crime, Luis. You two opened up a strength training studio, then added on cycling. Then you had this opportunity to kind of combine both into this new development, this new property with other businesses, and you kept it local. It sounds like other local Arizona kind of businesses as well are in there because the space is beautiful. Maybe walk people through the different levels and what's kind of offered in each.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. So yeah, you walk in and we joked since day one we've got a pretty big opening door, so that's almost like your strength test, to make sure you're ready to come in the door. So you walk through that door and you see our beautiful retail and '08 fuel bar space. We've got, we serve traditional or organic fresh fruit smoothies with different adaptogens, no syrups, no sugar, everything's super, super clean. We've got all our retail we're partnered with Lululemon, Iconic Arizona, some good friends of ours who also have their clothing in there. Of course, our own collective brand like this one here. And then a lot of grab and go options, Fit Aids, LMNTs, Brinto Box is a meal delivery service we're partnered with. So you walk in, and we've had many people come in, who are walking by there like that could be the space itself, like that could be the business, between the smoothie bar and the retail area. So we really did, that's a big focus for us was just providing that opening, that entryway to people that even if they don't work out with us, and we've got many people that we've gotten to know over these last couple of years have not lifted a kettlebell or gotten on a bike yet inside our doors, but they're there 3-4 days a week grabbing a smoothie. So it is something where even the smoothie bar, it's as if it was its own standalone smoothie bar location. You can order off, Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats, have it delivered, and or come by and pick it up. So just get to walk into this great area, and then you come around the corner, and on our bottom floors are our strength training area. And we've got everything broken up into 4 different zones, really, and our workouts, whether it's a strength or conditioning based day are specific to those zones. We'll house, or capacity wise, like 24 to 32 people in a class based on what that program is for that specific day. But the great thing about it is everyone, you've got your own equipment. You've got your own deadlift bar, you got your own squat bar, your own bench press, your own skier, your own rower, your own bike, whatever that might be. So that's on the bottom floor with some turf as well. And I don't know how much Mateo, about the weather right now when we're recording this in Arizona, but you don't want to be outside a whole lot.
Right.
But the great thing is we've got 4 beautiful garage glass doors that 8 months out of the year, we get to have opened up pretty much all day long. So you get the fresh air, some turf on the outside, some turf on the inside. So just really a very open, inviting space. And then right off of our training floor, we've got our recovery room. So you walk into there, a couple plunge cold tubs, a traditional sauna, to fit 6 to 8 people, and then also some red light therapy in there as well. So really get to whether you're hitting your strength training, doing that quick rinse, hitting the cold tubs and out, whatever it might be, everything is just right there for you. And then we built a mezzanine right up above the whole front entryway, about 1,000 square feet, and that's where essentially our cycle studio is. So it's like a concert up there. Complete experience. The bikes, the music, the energy from all the coaches is pretty amazing. So really just laid it all out. Where you get everything all under one roof.
What's like the total square footage of the whole thing?
So we're downstairs. We are 3,700 square feet, and then that mezzanine is just under 1,000. So including the outdoor turf, we're just about 5,000.
And you said the strength portion downstairs, their classes, and you said the cap was how many people?
24 on the more
24.
strength specific days, 32 on more of our conditioning. Some of our days are even high rock style based, core and conditioning classes.
So you have 24 racks down there, 24 ski ergs, and 24.
So with those, so we've got essentially those 4 different zones. So like we've got 8 skiers, so 8 rowers, 8 echoes. So you'd be split into each group.
Got it.
On the strength days, there's 6 deadlift platforms, 6 squat racks. So
and you're rotating around
through the workout. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hey, gym owners, are you looking for a way to generate more leads, close more sales, and increase client retention? Introducing Kilo. We are a software company that gives gym owners the tools they need to increase revenue and run a successful gym. With Kilo, you get a beautifully designed website to capture more leads, an integrated marketing automation platform to increase sales, and our gym management software so you can add new client memberships, process payments, and organize your class schedule. If you're ready to upgrade your gym management software, book a call at usekilo.com.
It's a really beautiful space. It's really very boutique. It looks great. What was the build out and the investment like? I know obviously you had a prior relationship with the developers. How did you finance this thing? How did you get the ball rolling?
Yeah, man, like anything, and I know for so many people, just that time of year, and I prefer just to call it 2020. I don't even like using any of the other words, right?
Yeah.
So we definitely encountered, like even our build out, initial kind of forecast and or budget, so to speak, or proposal ended up being about 3x, what it would have been kind of pre 2020 compared to once we did actually get to start building it out. So it was one of those opportunities, one of those opportunities slash challenges, where we had to get creative. Talking with some friends, some family, as far as potential investors. Some of the different programs that came out around that time, helped as well. With the like the EIDL, SBA loans that were out there. So the timing from that aspect definitely helped. And like I said, it kind of coincided right with, well, shoot, we were planning on this being about 2.5x less, but it was also, we also knew and appreciated how great the opportunity is and was going to continue to be in the future. So it's kind of like, all right, well, we just got to do what we got to do, to get this thing built out. Obviously get all the equipment, everything, and get those doors open as quickly as possible.
Okay, so it sounds like it was some personal savings, some friends and family, then maybe some EIDL loans. Did the owners help with was there any kind of land, like the landlords doing any of the financing or anything like that? Or was any of it built into the rent?
So we did have we were able to work out especially being one of the very first people, first businesses signing in on there, we were able to work a pretty sweet deal in terms of tenant improvements. So those did help. Again, though, when even something like that, when the TIs were first signed for that amount being before 2020, sounded really good because it would have been, roughly a third to a quarter of the build out. But then all of a sudden, post 2020, that kind of turned into, all right, well, helped us with about 15% of the build out, but it's like, and I'm sure, well, there's probably some people, some listeners out there that have had experience kind of going into these things, and others who have not. But as you know, it's essentially it's all built into the lease, right? Like the spaces will give you that money up front to help you do your build out, but then it's worked into, okay, what is your rent payment going to be along with everything else? What's the duration of the lease that you're signing? But, for as beautiful of a place as it is, and, again, the relationship we had with that, have with the families there, it was definitely, I'd say one of the better deals that we could have gotten at that time too.
You mentioned that the cycling studio can be like a concert, and gyms are not notoriously known for being quiet. And it is residential luxury condos. Would you have to do anything special to soundproof it?
Yeah, great question, man. And those were all things going through our mind beforehand as we started building out. We were even able to, before the units up above us had opened up, we were able to get up there, kind of via the stairway and knowing the leasing agents there at the apartments. And we would go crank our music kind of full blast, or have one person there, one person up, see what level we could get it to. One great thing, or of the many great things, like each of those floors, like I think it was like 21 or 22-inch concrete bases kind of in between the floors, so to speak. So that definitely helped a ton. And then other things we did do was just, maximize as much as possible the soundproofing in that room specifically, and having a great relationship, there with the Tyler, and them knowing, what it was up front. It's also something that over these first couple of years, they've also kind of prefaced that with any tenants or potential tenants moving in there. Like, hey, you guys know you are moving in above a gym, here's the class time hours. So also been super grateful for having that relationship with them. And it ends up being like, people know. It's not like, they move in and what's that noise, what's going on? So matter of fact, on, one of the top stories above us, even one of our team members moved in there not too long ago. So we're like, okay, cool. That, that could take away
they're
even
cool.
one less person. Yeah, we know they're cool. But yeah,
Great.
it's, I'd say like so many other things like that, just having that open communication, working with, if it's an apartment type place, or other surrounding businesses, if people are going in and building out, just, having those conversations beforehand, kind of setting expectations, seeing what they could do to work best, finding out, high traffic times versus not, maybe quiet times versus ones that aren't. And feel like anytime you can do that beforehand, it just, it makes for a much healthier relationship moving forward, as opposed to, oh, we're not going to say anything unless Mateo comes and knocks on our door and says we're being too loud, right? So that definitely be some recommendation for anyone looking to build out and or in a similar position.
So you've mentioned you have the different kind of spaces. So what are the offerings, right? I know, you mentioned you have recovery, you have cycling, you have the strength training classes. On the website even says nutrition, personal training. So what are all the offerings? How is it packaged up and priced out?
So we, even this has evolved and continues to evolve. When we first opened, we were really looking at everything as individually, where it was almost more like 3 studios inside of one. And your membership could be access to one of the 3, 2 of the 3, or, all 3 of them. It's been about probably a year into it, 10 months into it. We just decided that, hey, we're really not, if our goal is to coach people on the importance of all 3 of these modalities, our memberships should reflect that. So we switched those over to, essentially like twice a week, 3 times a week, or unlimited. Even our recovery room, you're booking it, via the app. So we do have some people that, maybe they've got, maybe they're more into martial arts or have a couple other gym memberships already, or maybe just for looking for recovery, and they might hop on our twice a week membership, and then their 2 sessions that they use per week are strictly for the recovery room. But that's what we switched to, was more that model, giving our members a little more freedom, and obviously building the most value and best price value into the unlimited, because we know the more people are here, the more opportunity we have to help them reach their goals, and help them attain what they're looking to attain. So there's a little bit of work in progress there, but for us too, I feel like the twice a week still can serve that need for maybe people that do have oh, I go to bar over here and I do yoga over or Pilates over here. It's like, okay, cool. You can get in, a strength and a cycle, with it twice a week, or, you can mix and match it every week. But that's just been what's worked best for us. And we positioned ourselves, I think it has been over about 5 years now, into weekly billing as well. So instead of paying for the month up front, it's more of a weekly membership, with still the commitment. But the idea there was even just from a psychology standpoint, kind of keep people engaged with, okay, cool. Like I saw this payment hit, let that also be a kind of reminder / motivating factor. I only made it in there twice this week. I'm paying for unlimited. I need to get another 1 or 2, 3 times in there this week.
So if I have the 3 times a week, I can go to any of the classes with my 3 credits that week.
Yep. You can mix and match it. I mean, there's some cases where someone could literally use all 3 in 2.5 hours, right? Because they might hit a strength training class and then book one of our Ride Plus classes, right after the strength classes, and then want to hit recovery. So it's like, bam, okay, you got your 3 in. It was a hell of a day right there. You got everything in,
right.
Which is good, right? But then as we, just as we kind of coach everyone and even position the membership model, hey, if you can do that 1 day a week, like imagine if you did that twice a week or 3 times a week. And that's really where that unlimited option comes into play.
And what are the pricing? What are the prices for these?
We're between $39 and $59. So essentially $39 a week for twice a week, $55 for 3 times, and then $59 currently for the unlimited.
Awesome. Looking at your website, you have these offerings. Everything is driving to this one thing, this free trial offer. I want to talk more about that and what you do once you get people interested, right? But in our research, we found, you guys have seen some awesome growth. It sounds like you were doing $30K, $40K a month in revenue, up to $70K a month. And then the next year after that, it sounded like you were hitting $100K months. Where are you guys at ballpark these days?
Yeah, it's, that 100K is become kind of the new floor, right? And that's the target, and obviously, having a larger operation, that's, it also costs more, having those doors open as well.
Just the AC costs.
Yes, yeah, especially this time of year right now. So yeah, that 100K is a target, really looking to grow. We feel pretty strongly in the potential of, that 140 to 150, becoming like a norm for us. Then sometimes, throughout the year, like matter of fact, our Christmas in July special just kicked off today. Between that and then November, when we run our Black Friday deals, which we tend to really package together some great incentives for our members to sign up for a year at a time, do like some year-long prepaids. We definitely had some months, that we're hitting up there, in those higher figures as well. But that's what I'm, on the back end, we're always building to, like, hey, us hitting those marks, the 120 and up, 140, 150. Those will be, very sustainable based on our model and capacity that we've got, and to continue to, most importantly, I feel, take care of our team. Make sure our coaches and our team members are making this being their career, not just a little side hustle type thing.
I think I skipped over it. So they're paying every week, but are they signing up for some kind of commitment, like a 2-3 month or a 6 month or a year, or is it just kind of you pay weekly and you can cancel whenever?
Yeah, good question. So with any of those specials, that's where we'll really incentivize more of a prepaid. So someone will prepay for the entire year at once. Outside of that, though, we don't have any set contracts or agreements. So definitely some flexibility there. We do ask for, though, a 21-day notice. So much like any other place, given a 30-day notice or whatever, we ask for that 3 weeks. One, giving us opportunity to re-engage with that member and make sure, hey, are they, kind of focused as they initially were on their goals? Are they in the right program for them? Is this someone that might need more private coaching? And take that 3 weeks to see if we can get them realigned with, like, hey, here's where you were when you first started. Looks like here's some of the things that maybe haven't been happening as much. how can we help get you back there? And in some cases, it might just be for that 3 weeks. But then, of course, in other cases, that huge win-win is kind of reigniting that fire within some. Oh yeah, you know what? I am committed to this, and you're right. I just needed to get my priorities back up. And I was saying time was an issue, but maybe now I just need to work out at 7 a.m. instead of 9 a.m. so I can get in there and get it done. So yeah, no contracts, but we just asked for that 21 days.
And how are people finding you? Obviously, you're in this epicenter. There's residential, there's it's a residential center, but also a business center. So obviously, there's some built-in foot traffic there. But how are people mostly finding you and finding that free trial offer?
Yeah, we're pretty strong on IG, and then of course just word of mouth as well. So that's been something, again, being around since 2008, we've grown quite a bit with just, and we always say like attracts like. So our members, they want to work out with other people who are also like them, similar mindset, similar goals, similar energies, all of that. So we've definitely been super blessed and just grateful from that aspect, like members helping us grow by inviting their friends and family, coworkers, all of that. And then we also know and understand, which again can evolve and change, just how important it is to have an online presence. But I'd say now even more than ever, just because our world continues to go this route, right? Where everything is can be done right there through the phone. So those would be our top two B2B type opportunities as well. With us having some great businesses all around us, partnering up on different events, really just connecting with like-minded individuals and businesses too has been huge for us.
So when you say Instagram, are these mostly social, organic posts, or are you driving some money and some paid ad traffic to it?
We've primarily been organic, and we've gone off and on with paid ad. We went for a while. I think it's even been about last October, September, October is when we had paused or stopped our paid ads through an agency, and then because we're investing in just our organic social media and becoming very very consistent with it, matching it to a feel. One of our coaches, it's her social media business as well. So again, now we got someone that she knows the culture. She's there, she's coaching cycle classes. So she's just got a great feel for everything. So we transitioned from there to, keeping that focus. And then we're doing some different like boosting of particular posts that maybe we thought were performing better than others. And then just recently, like I think it's been about 2 weeks now, within the last couple of weeks, with some of the new AI-based additions that Facebook is doing, we've gone in now and essentially set some of our organic posts up for paid ads via Facebook, utilizing their, forget what they call it, AI something or other. But basically, instead of back in the day, like where you'd have to go in there and, all right, I want only these zip codes and these likes and these hobbies. You hit that button and it does it for you.
What's the idea if someone likes a post or maybe does a follow? What's the process of getting that person into the gym?
Yeah, that's a lot of opportunity for we've got a VA who's also a team member of ours, and that's her main kind of job focus or responsibility is connecting with new followers, people who like or comment on our IG page, and just starting a conversation with them. It's something over the years I feel it's very similar to to the dating world. It's an easy analogy, right? Where if you just go walk up to someone and say, "Hey, how about dinner tomorrow night?" Not as likely going, here and there, maybe it will happen, but not as likely it's going to happen as opposed, oh, hey, what's going on? What brought you here? Who do you know here? What did you already have a friend of yours working out with us here at the gym? What are you currently doing? So that's her main role, is really kicking off those conversations and meeting someone where they're at, with of course the intentions of getting them to come in for a class as well.
I've been teasing it, the trial offer. It's everywhere on the website. It's on the link on the Instagram little bio up there. How did you narrow in on this versus, I don't know, a paid trial or versus 30 days for whatever? How did you nail in on the free class?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. It continues to evolve, and I don't know when this might air. Maybe it's different by the time it airs, or if someone's listening to this a year from now, because we've definitely gone through an array of them. From the free week to the 3 days for X amount of dollars, 2 weeks for X amount of dollars, 28 days for this, 3 classes for this. We've cycled through a lot of it. What we found for us specifically is that one free class, at least right now, is working the best because we also have a 28-day trial offer after that if someone's not yet ready to commit to a full-on membership. So that for us just gives us enough opportunity to get to know that individual, take them through a great intake, connect with them about their goals, let them experience what a class would feel like, and then connect back with, based on where you're at and what your goals are, Mateo, like this can be the program that's going to be best for you. Let's get you going. That is also, I feel it's helped the potential member or, oncoming member out as well, because it's also less thinking as well, where what we found in the past, like doing a free week trial or something like that, you come to one class and you're all excited, you love it, felt good, and then maybe you come again the next day, but then life happens and 3 or 4 days go by. Oh shoot, yeah, I need to get back. Oh well, shoot, my trial's over. All right, well I'll get back to it. So it's also helped us just kind of rein in on the okay, cool. Like you're here right now, you just experienced this. We already connected with you with what your goals are. We can tell how you can see and feel now how they're going to help you achieve those goals. Here are your two options next to move forward. Let's go.
So I get to the website, I fill out the form. Yeah, I want to claim the free trial. What happens?
Yeah. So from there, our team members reach out. And we're always, pretty adamant on, as quickly as possible there, because as I mentioned earlier, if someone just filled that out, most likely that phone is still sitting right there in their hand. So we'll call you and then get you connected with it being your first time coming in what we call an intro session. And we basically time that with, about 30 minutes before the first class that we have an opening to get you in as well. So there's opening at 9 a.m. and you're interested in coming into to take one of the strength classes. We get that first intro set up at 8:30 on that day. That way you come in, get a tour of the place, meet your coach, go through that intake form around specific goals, times, all of those things, and then truly get to experience that class as well.
So you call them right away. What happens if they don't pick up?
So there's a little technique called the double dial.
Yes, there is. Dear listener, the double dial.
The
There it
double
is.
dial.
There
Yeah.
it is.
It's amazing how it can sound like, no, why would you do that? That's just waste your time. They didn't answer. But when it started happening to me, yeah, it'd be one of those, I don't know who that is. But then, 15 seconds later, it's the same number. Let me at least see who it is, right? So there's just something about the psyche of that, right? Where if it's that same number calling right back, there's a good chance that person is more likely to answer the phone, especially if they don't know, where that call is coming from. So the double dial, and then of course from there, if they don't answer that second time, we're leaving a voicemail and sending a text, potentially even a DM as well. But we really look to, however someone first initiated communication with us, most likely that's going to be their main lane that they want to stay in. So we'll look to stay in that lane as long as possible, right? Until that leads to getting them in the doors.
So that means, dear listener, if they emailed and asked about the trial, you're going to convert them via email. If they texted or DM'd on Instagram asking about the trial, you're going to do the conversation there. If they filled out the form and left their phone number, you try to call them, they pick up, you're going to try and do it on the phone. So I've talked a lot about the double dial. I've also talked about persistence. You can't just give up after the first outreach attempt. Sometimes it takes many, many outreach attempts before you get to connect. The pushback I've gotten from gym owners these days is like, oh, well, millennials and Gen Z, they don't pick up the phone anymore. Have you experienced this? And if so, how have you adjusted your lead nurture approach?
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm sure that that's there, right? But I also wonder how much of that is there because that's just what everyone says is there. So to some degree, I feel like people might just say that as an excuse or as a cover up or as a way to avoid being rejected, or failure or whatever that might be. And again, saying that, knowing that, yeah, maybe there are people that they just, all they do is text. Well, hey, if that's the case, text. But as soon as you get that response, be in a position to text right back, because they're on their phone. They just sent you a message as well. But I also feel that there's always opportunity to look at not only what's being done, but how is it being done. I was having this conversation with someone, another gym owner, a couple of weeks ago. Leaving voicemails, it just doesn't work for us. And similar to what you just mentioned, right? I feel like we just need to text. Texting is what works for us. Okay, well, what's a voicemail sound like? If a voicemail, Mateo, hi, this is Jeremy, and you called in to come take a free class with me, and we just really want to get you scheduled. I call me back whenever you want, and we'll get. No one's got time for that, right? So it's even, what's the voicemail sound like? Like what are some little tweaks within the processes you're doing that, okay, if this isn't working, if people aren't answering or responding, change how you're doing it. An example in that case, like just using more of a kind of maybe more of a voicemail that's like more curiosity driven. Like, hey, Mateo, man, it's Jeremy. You hit us up, I'm hitting you back. Give me a call. You know what I mean? Like curiosity wise, or very specific, hey, Mateo, it's Jeremy from the collective. Hey, man, I had a couple quick minutes now, so I was hoping to catch you. I won't be available again until this afternoon at 3 or 3:30. So if one of those times works for you, give me a call back. If not, don't worry, I'm going to call you back tomorrow at 9. All right, man, talk soon. Like, being a coach from the get-go, right, is so important.
Mm-hmm.
But when we
giving
leave
direction.
Yes, yep.
Yeah.
So when we leave it in a position in terms of, speaking to a prospective member, if working out and being involved in fitness in this moment of their journey in life isn't happening yet, then us just saying, oh, Mateo, call me back whenever you get a chance, they're not going to get that chance,
right,
because
right,
that's not in their schedule right now. So that's a big part of it is, and we coach our team on that, like right from the get-go. Our coaching and accountability starts right from the get-go.
So let's say I am responding. I either picked up the call. Let's say, what happens next? What's the script? How are we getting them in the door?
It's similar in terms of, quick touch points around, who you might know is already with us. What are you currently doing? What are you not doing? What are you looking for? That really helps us best match, especially with us having the different modalities. Like what's going to be the first class to get you scheduled in. If it's someone that, they're just talking about how, they really want to bench press as much as they did back in high school, the first class offer them is, isn't going to be a cycle class, right? It's going to be, okay, cool. We need to get you into one of our upper body strength training days. Those happen on Tuesday or Friday. We've got time, this Friday, at 9 or noon. Which one's best for you? So again, even coaching and, limiting choices and decisions in that phone call is a big part of that initial one. And even as we go through those steps, like connecting with them, like, okay, hey, Mateo, we're super excited to see you this Friday. Coach Jake, that class he runs Fridays at noon is amazing. Typically it's sold out, but right now there are a couple extra spots. Who do you know that would like to come with you? So even in that initial call, looking to get them to come in with a friend, family member. Of course, bringing in another prospective member is huge for the business, but also for that individual. Again, if it's something they haven't done in a while or ever, they're going to feel that much more comfortable coming with someone that they already know. So we'll follow through there, and then lastly, we do ask for a credit card for booking, even though it's a free class. But again, coming back to the accountability of what that person is doing, so that way it's not just, okay, yeah, cool, I booked it. Friday morning comes up, I don't really feel like it. Some buddies they're actually starting an early happy hour. I'll do it next week. It's like, no, hey, cards on file to reserve your spot. If for some reason you don't show, there is a no-show fee, but $0 charge for showing up.
Got it. Beautiful. So you're eating up a spot that a member could use, so there's a no-show fee, but other than that, just make sure you show up. So I like it. It sounds good. So they're booked in. All right. You said there's 30 minutes before the class, so they do a kind of intake with you. What goes on in that 30 minutes?
There's that initial, and typically kind of depending upon the flow of the day, like what time it is, or when that person comes in, our team would take them for a tour right away. If there are classes going on, so they could kind of see and feel that energy as well, and start connecting with them via that the tour. We know some basics from that initial phone call, but now is really that opportunity to dive deeper into those. We've got what we call our success form that we fill out for people during this intake process, and that's where we're covering again goals, what's worked in the past, what hasn't worked. Essentially like why this, why us, why now, type questions, and even getting some different times. Like we've got all the class times on this page. All right, let's circle the times that work best for you. So it's also helping overcome any potential objections that person might have after the class. So some of those would happen during that initial tour, and then we'll take some time to actually sit down and finish going through a little more thorough, the rest of the questions on there. And then we do what we call a handoff to the coach. So our first impressions team member, again, they go over, hey, Mateo, want to introduce you here to Coach Jake. I told him a little bit about you, but Mateo, is it cool if I share some of the things we just talked about? Yep. Okay, cool. So now even doing a little bit of transfer of trust, we call it, really just sharing like, hey, here's where he's at right now. Here's his goal. Here's why he showed up today. Now it's the ball's in your court. I'll let you take it from here. So again, doing as many things as possible to help that prospective person feel comfortable coming in, walking into a place for the first time, and as I mentioned earlier, maybe they've never worked out, or maybe it's been 6 months, 2 years, 5 years. So really just helping them feel as comfortable as possible has been, really big part of our process.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people have tried the free offer and then they change it. They go back to what they were doing before. I think people struggle with it. And I think it's because of what you've been describing. Like they don't have this very structured, very dialed in, very intentional process. It's kind of just like, oh yeah, sign up for the free class and like, I'll let the coach know, but yeah, you're just showing up. And if you like it, great. If you don't, you don't. For you, there's a very structured intake process. You're handing it off to the coach. The coach knows what's going on. They, if needed, are given a little bit extra attention, and then afterward, there's a post session meeting there where you're hopefully going to close the sale. What are the things that make that post session final closing conversation? What are the things that set you up for success there? Like, what are the things that you're doing that you think are helping you with that close rate?
Yeah, it truly does start from that very, very first point of contact. Like that is all part of that, right? And to your point, I feel even, ourselves in the past, like that's where we would miss opportunities because it was, okay, cool. We'll get you in, we'll let you take the class. And all right, now let's talk. Oh yeah, so you love class. Okay, so yeah, straight to a membership. It's like there was no further opportunity to connect with that person, really find out why they are there, right? So first thing I would share is, hey, that starts from that first attempted phone call and or text. And then after class, it's really coming back and connecting with some of the things that they shared with us before, during that intake form. And so Mateo, you were talking about, how you wanted to get your squat back to where it was, in your college days. And you also mentioned you have this event coming up here in a few months. So hey, can you see how today's type of training would help you get there? And, like really starting to connect those
getting them to say yes early, getting them to say yes. I'm already saying yes. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it worked. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Yes, I'm going to buy it.
Right. Yeah. Getting them connected, right? Like, hey, this is like something I know is going to be good for me based on what I just shared with you. I was looking for. And in some cases, people might need that. Maybe it's more education, kind of connecting those pieces. Maybe it's more kind of motivation around like, all right, man, you see how good you're feeling right now. Like this, this is what you want to be feeling 3 days a week, not once every 6 months. Right. So yeah, following some of those things and connecting back with them. And even your point of the yeses, right? Like we've coached our team on how that can be part of it, as long as they're like good value questions, right? Like it's not the old school. I feel like even different business things I would learn way back in the day. Oh, so all right, so Mateo, oh yeah, you're holding a glass of water. Yes. Okay, you're wearing
Right,
glasses.
right,
Yeah. Okay, you said
right.
yes 3 times. Now
Yeah,
you're
then I
gonna
could
get a
sell you.
membership.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. But yeah, just around that, just like you were saying, like, hey, so you see how this could really help you achieve this goal of X, Y, and Z. Yeah, yes, I do. Okay, cool. What's how you feeling about moving forward and doing this, and having that just like truthful conversation with someone. So that will happen with the coach immediately following that class. And then kind of the next step for us, we call the hand back. So the coach then hands back that person to the first impressions team member, who we call our front desk. So it makes it very natural. Like, okay, came in with this person, get introduced here, and then come back and get back reconnected with who they first spoke with.
Amazing. So let's say I sign up. You've mentioned that a big part of the way you're attracting new members is the referral piece. How have you formalized and standardized the referral collection process?
Hey Mateo, we're super excited to have you here as a new member, man. One of the other perks of your membership with us here at the Collective, we built our business on people just like you coming in and sharing with their friends and family. One of your perks is you get 5 VIP passes to hand out to anyone that you would like to, friends or family. Here's a sheet right here. Tell you what, we've got a new member goodie bag for you. I'm gonna go get that put together. I'm gonna leave this sheet right here with you. Go ahead and fill out those 5 names. I'll be back in a minute. Right. So it's having that, not only the sheet, and we joked about this one because this was literally, it was maybe 2 years ago, maybe not even little less than 2 years ago, where we had a picture of like the old school, like, like the pink piece of paper, the pink little post-it notes, right? That we had handwritten, these 5 members, a member had referred 5 friends, and we had their name and phone numbers on this pink sheet of paper, and we're like, okay, hey, we're glad we got this, but let's elevate, let's raise the bar on what that looks like. Instead of, oh, let me find a scrap piece of paper. Okay, who are your good friends? What's your mom's name
Right,
again?
right.
So we've got this really cool just sheet, that just really highlights everything, is obviously branded to our colors and everything. It's got the 5 lines, plenty of space to write. So that part of the process has been good. And then even the aspect of, and this is the majority of all these things I'm getting to share today are things that we've worked with, the Loud Rumor community for many years now. Mike Arce, the owner, is a good friend of mine. So we've learned so much, in this fitness mastermind that we're a part of, and hearing all these gyms and studios implement these things and trial and test them. But that also being a big part of it, like instead of me sitting here and looking at you, okay, so what were your 5 friends' names again? Like me giving you that minute of space to, all right, grab your phone, go through it, write them down. And there's also, some of the law of reciprocity there too, right? Like, hey, what size shirt do you wear again? Okay, cool. I'm gonna go grab you that. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna give you time for this. So there's, again, it's not, oh, well, I asked for referrals and it doesn't work. You got to come back to, well, how are you asking it? Are you writing it on a pink sheet of paper? Is that person receiving something? So there's always so much opportunity to go back and fine tune what is the actual process.
And gym owner, it's important to do it right after you get them signed up, because that's when they're most excited. They're most excited to join the gym when they just literally joined the gym. So while they're feeling that endorphin rush, they just got out of the workout too. While they're feeling good, that's the best time for them to start thinking about, yeah, there's other people who would love this that are in my life. It's also probably a good time to ask for a review, but people have different opinions on that. But yes, that's another opportunity to ask, how was the trial? If you want to tell people about it, post it here. So we're running out of time here, folks. There's a lot of questions that I still wanted to ask. We might have to have you back, Jeremy. We want to know more about the cafe, how that fits into everything. I'm dying to know how the revenue's broken up, where that $150K a month, how much of it's from cycling, how much of it's from strength, how much of it is from smoothies, how much of it is from Lululemon retail. But maybe, dear gym owner, we'll call that to be continued, a cliffhanger. Just gives you an opportunity to subscribe so that you
There you
won't
go.
miss the next time we have Jeremy on to tell us more about the collective. Jeremy, thank you so much. If people want to follow along, where is the best place to find you?
I would say IG, so at the Collective Gilbert, and then mine is at Coach Jeremy Jones. But yeah, those, as we were mentioning, those are two great spaces to always be connected. And I feel, even though however many years from now it might be something completely different, at least where we're at right now, I feel Instagram's it's going to be here, as far as keeping people connected and giving businesses opportunities to showcase what they do.
And dear gym owner, if you want to be like Jeremy and you want to have a trial offer listed on your website, you might want to check out Kilo, where we can build you that website. We can put that offer right on your homepage. And then when they opt in, we can have automations that give tasks for your first impressions team to follow up with that person, give them a call, get them booked in for a session. And once you book them in, you can get them on our gym management software. It can help you make sure that they show up for that class and have a great time. So use kilo.com if you're curious about those tools. And as I said before, if you don't want to miss next week's episode, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Gym World Worldwide, wherever you're listening, YouTube, Spotify, wherever else. And with that, we love you, Gym World, and we'll see you next time.
Right on. Thanks, Mateo.